Hello, 20. I think you know me. I'm the mass analyst. Now, if people out there are scratching their heads and they're saying, who's 20? Well, 20 is the name of the current YourTube advocate. The current YourTube advocate wants to remain anonymous and just be referred to as 20. And I have to say that he's doing a good job so far. Uh, this video is a response to several videos that he's made on the YouTube Terms of Service and Community Guidelines. It's also being made in anticipation of my making a video in response to James Randi. James Randi, as some of you may know, had his account suspended for a little while, and it was just recently reinstated. He chastised some of us a little bit for overreacting, and hopefully this series of videos discussing the YourTube TOS will be useful as background for understanding why some of us did overreact and assume that YouTube was up to no good in their suspension of James Randi. Now that's something I will be addressing in more detail in a different video. But this is a series of videos just concentrating on YouTube's terms of service or terms of use. And it will be providing, shall we say, complementary information to that provided by the YourTube Advocate. Now before starting, I want to say for the most part, I think the staff at YouTube are doing their best to reasonably implement their terms of service, but it oftentimes doesn't seem that way. First of all, they make it very difficult, extremely difficult, if someone has had their video removed incorrectly to get in touch with them. Now, I think they're trying hard to be reasonable in the videos that they remove. They're trying to implement it fairly, but let's face it, they're human. They're going to make mistakes. And so it's important for us to be able to contact them and for them to respond to our concerns. They make it extremely difficult to contact. There's a form that one can fill out, not specifically for this, but you have to go looking for it. It really is hard to find out. And they only allow 350 words in the letter that you write to YouTube. It's very difficult in 350 words, maybe even impossible to put your video in context, in the context necessary for them to make an intelligent decision as to whether or not it should be suspended. So part of the problem is a communications problem on their part. Now, I want to direct you to an article in the Tech Online. This is MIT's oldest and largest newspaper. And I really encourage, I really want all my viewers to read that article. It's not that long. And if you do so, you'll notice a few things that are interesting. The first thing that caught my eye was a report of a video about police brutality in Oklahoma. Somebody caught police brutality on tape, and they posted it to YouTube. Unfortunately, the city of Blackwell, Oklahoma, sent YouTube a DMCA, and they got YouTube to remove that video. Looks to me like a cover-up of police brutality, and YouTube complied. Now that's just struck my interest. That's not what this series of videos is about. That's the DMCA. I've spoken about the DMCA a lot, how it can be used to cover up misdeeds, to wrongfully cover up misdeeds. And YouTube's actions makes it very easy to do so. I post 80% of the blame on the law itself. The DMCA is a poorly written law, and about 20% of the blame on YouTube. Maybe it should be 90-10, but it's very easy to get YouTube to cover up information that they shouldn't be covering up. But that's a topic for other videos. In this, what I want you to pay attention to right now is to the comments by Corinne McSherry, who's a staff attorney at the Electronic Frontier Foundation. And you'll note in the article that it discusses a couple of videos, or it mentions a couple of videos that were removed. One video was removed for explaining how laser could be used to light matches, and another video that was removed for terms of service was a house being destroyed by a tornado. And you just got to scratch your head and wonder, what the hell was that all about? And Corinne McSherry, the staff attorney for the Electronic Frontier Foundation, said that YouTube's TOS violations can be arbitrary and unexplained. And she said, and I'm going to quote here, she says, in the terms of service, there isn't any kind of formal protection or a formal procedure for users to get their data back except to send a letter to YouTube begging them to reconsider. And here again is where it comes in. YouTube really needs to make it easy to communicate with them if you've had your video removed inappropriately. They are not perfect. They do make mistakes, and people get their video suspended wrongfully. And that's without going into any specific terms of service and how a blanket terms of service cannot and should not be interpreted without thought, implemented without thought, because otherwise great misjustice can occur. That's enough for this video. In my next video, I'll discuss their terms of service regarding hate speech and how, indeed, a great deal of thought has to be put into how they implement it. Again, for the most part, I think they're doing a good job, but it would be very easy for them to lose the way right here. This has been the Mass Analyst, under and in.